Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another video of the Osmoth. Today, I'm going to be talking about the Russian Battlecruiser line, the line that I have just grinded on Leicester on the Russian server, the Russian the Russian server of World of Warships. And this is going to be my opinion. This isn't going to be for everyone's opinion. So some of you guys might disagree, some of you guys might agree, and whatnot. So we're going to start with um the the tier three. The tier three, I have to say, it's not very good. Um, the Turch first is horrific. Um, the armor is not. It's not dreadful, but it's not good. It's actually got pretty. It's got pretty exposed armor, if I'm gonna be honest. Yes, it has really thick bow and stern plating and whatnot, so you can't really get overmatched or anything like that. But the gun layout is also not very good. Um, the guns go all over the place. And when you actually do land a pretty good salvo, it's pretty unforgiving, really. It's pretty unforgiving. Um, so that's the tier three, and honestly, it's I'm gonna put up to situational. I'm gonna put up to situational because it could be a good ship. It's just it relies too heavily on RNG. So I'm gonna lay it on situational because it can be a really good ship. It could be really good. Now we're gonna get to the tier four, the Gangurt, and boy, this thing. I would say it's decent. I would say it's a decent ship. The Gangurt has pretty good armor. It can still be absolutely slapped. Um, really easily. If you have large enough caliber gun. 8-inch won't citadel you, but they will pen your main belt and do like full damage to you. But you're also not that easy to burn down. Um, and everything like that. So I'm actually going to look at the game real quick. This is on the RU, not RU. This is on Wargaming. 56 seconds to turn. To turn it's 180 degrees. Let's see the Sigma. No, it doesn't say Sigma. Oh well, that's alright. So it's got 1.7 rate of fire. The reload is 36 seconds. That's painful. That is. That's really painful. That is really painful. I can't even look at the top upgrades. Right. Um, but yeah. Honestly, I just it's how do I put it? It's a bit of a troll ship. The turret first doesn't really help it, really. The reload is. Oh, I'm gonna put this in situational. Honestly, the the Krasny Suvorov Krasny is basically the same thing as the Ganga. It's just got twin guns instead of triples. Yeah, 36 seconds. Oof. That's not good. So let's go to the Piotr Palenki. 1.8 seconds, 45 degrees, so you got like average battleship um uh, turn time now for the main guns. And this is where you get 356s. So the Falenki, I think I'm pronouncing that right, am I? No, Faleki. Faliki. Faliki? Yeah, Faliki. I think it's Faliki. I think it's Faliki. But this ship, it gets 14-inch guns instead of 12-inch, which is good. The Faliki, I would put it as very good because this thing is quick. It's more like a battlecruiser. The turn time for the turrets is pretty good. The reload is still subpar, 33 seconds. You still get that oh, what do you call it? The fast damage control. The armor is this is where it gets special. This thing has the most ridiculous armor at tier 5. Yes, you can be slapped in the side, but if you angle in this thing, you are basically impervious to basically everything. Even 15-inch guns are going to struggle to pen you because you got that icebreaker and everything. So I'm gonna leave it as pretty decent. I'll make it. Just wondering if I should put like a good here. I might actually put one. It's good. Nah. Actually, I'm gonna put it at decent. I feel like putting it in very good is too. It's too forgiven. This thing you need to be not an experienced player. You need to be like an intermediate player, so you know really what you're doing. You know how to angle, and you know how to like protect your citadels and everything like that. So it's not like an easy ship to get around with. Bismarck, oh boy, I hate this thing. And the reason why I hate this thing is because all the B X and Y turrets, they're all facing backwards, which is really good if you want to kite. But if you are chasing down an enemy, this thing is just not very good. I don't like it. I really do not like this thing. I think it's a pretty terrible ship. I'm gonna put it as like bad because you could get citadeled so easily in this thing. I think that's the right one, isn't it? Yes. You could get so easily citadeled in this thing. It's honestly a bit ridiculous by how easy you can citadel this ship. The 180 degrees turn time is 60 seconds. You have to wait a minute for the turrets to turn from, say, the right side of the ship to the left side. A minute. By that time, you've taken what, possibly two salvos into the side of your ship, and you're probably dead. It's a pretty quick ship. I mean, it can do max speed is 28.5 knots. which is pretty good. The rudder shift time 16.8 seconds is, I'd say, it's average. The turn circle is, it's not bad and it's not good. I would say it's decent, honestly. The other thing that I found about this ship playing it, and I basically, I'm going to admit, I basically 3 XP'd my way to the tier 7, and I wish I never did. But this thing is horrible at range. This thing is horrible at range. The armor is, it's it's not even manageable. It really isn't manageable. I'm not going to put it as terrible because the guns are decent and the speed is pretty decent. Yeah, I'm going to leave this as bad. Bear in mind, this is the Battlecruiser line, not the Battleship line. So now we go on to our first proper Battlecruiser, and boy, didn't I hate this thing. I can't look at these on here because Wargaming haven't put them in at all. But basically what it is it's an Ismail with 4 twin 16-inch turrets with the same gun placement. But you go from 12 guns to 8, and you've got you're supposed to have really good Sigma and really good dispersion, but it doesn't feel like that. And I'm going to put this bad because it sucks. You got the same armor scheme that of the tier 6 at tier 7. You've got, it's basically the whole same. I believe you might even be a bit slower. I'm not sure. I have to have a check. But I sold this thing when I got to the tier 8. I got rid of it. I hated it. It was the worst ship I've ever touched so far on the Leicester server. I've got a pretty good account on the EU server, but I hate this thing. I fucking hate it. It's terrible. The guns do slap, but the problem is that the penetration, and this is where it confuses me. It absolutely boggles my mind. This thing has I believe they're Fladder Fostock shells. So they're fladdy guns, basically. They're Fladder Fostock guns. But they don't perform like Fladder Fostock guns. You're either going to get shatters, ricochets, or you're going to overpen, or you're going to get absolutely horrific dispersion and Sigma. This thing is just terrible. It is terrible. It really is a terrible ship. I don't like it. The concealment's pretty good. Again, you've got the armor of the tier 6 at tier 7, so you're fighting tier 9s with effectively a tier 6 hull. So it sucks, basically. It is terrible. And I just don't like it. I really don't like it. The AA is decent. I mean, I would say it's on the bad end. It's between bad and decent, so it's like it's not even situational AA. It's just not very good AA. But the gun placement absolutely, it just kills the ship. It really does. Now the tier 8. Actually, if I load up the Warships Leicester, I can actually show you guys the ships. But the tier 8, and this is where the lines start to get good, start to get pretty damn good. The tier 8 is, I believe it effectively has the same guns as the tier 7, but for whatever reason, or was it No, I think it's got the better guns. Um, I will have to have a look, but the tier 8, the first and second turret point forwards, and the third turret points backwards. It's got 3 triples, which is really good. Um, don't worry, it's not going to stay in the decent, but honestly, it's a breath of fresh air when you go from the tier 7, which is, if I'm going to be honest, it's a pile of crap. I would even put it at terrible. Like, yes, you don't get the fast TCP, so you get unlimited TCP, but you just get. No, no, wait. If I look at the tier 8 real quick, yeah, the Stormy, the Admiral and Stormy, I think it is. Um, yeah, the Senjavin. The Senjavin gets. Yeah, it gets Vladivostock guns, which are just oh, it's just a terrible ship. It's just the Senjavin is just terrible. The Stormy, it gets the new shell, which the Stormy gets 1.8 Sigma, and with my build, it got, what was it, two. It was really good dispersion with the with the with the 3 triple layout. But this thing, it gets pretty good secondaries, and it gets quite a lot of what am I saying? It gets pretty good secondaries. Um, it gets 4 twin 130s on each side, and it gets uh seven 6-inch guns, casemates. The main battery range is 19.8, which is on the low side. I will admit, I have noticed that that they don't really get that good range until tier 10. The tier 9 is a bit lackluster of a range, and the tier 8 is a bit lackluster of a range. The tier 7, boy, didn't this thing was terrible. It was terrible. The turret res is 45 seconds, which is fine. The range is 18.7, which I believe is just like standard range. No, it's pretty good range actually. Let me have a look. Yeah, it's pretty good range. 18.7 compared to Synapse 17.6. The tier 8. The tier 8 with 19.8 kilometer range, which is really good. And it's got the survivability 60,000 hit points. Oh yeah, that's the other thing about the Senjavin, is that it gets what? Not even 6,000 more hit points than the Ismail. It's just terrible. It really is just terrible. The AA of the Senyavan, you get 3 flak, 1400 damage. Now, the AA has a firing range of 6, which is really good. Really, really good. Really good. And you effectively have more AA than the Sinum. So, putting the Senyavan at tail was probably not good. Is it? I'll leave it at bad, honestly. Actually, I might actually move it to not good, honestly, because it's not an awful ship. It's just a ship which struggles to perform. It does 28 knots, so it's half a knot slower than the Ismail. It gets really good rudder, 13 seconds base, and 830 meter turn circle. The concealment is 14.2, so I think I got that concealment down to 12, like the low 12. The tier 8, the Stormy, which I believe is this one. The AA, you get 5 flak, which is, pretty decent. You get 199 continuous AA. Bear in mind that this is stock. These are all stock. Because I don't know why I got rid of the Stormy. I think I got rid of the Stormy to get the Lazarev. The maneuverability 30.5 knots. Bear in mind if you get the brisk and the engine boost. The engine boost is really good. The engine boost is fantastic on these ships. You could get up to some insane speeds with these ships. The Stormy has a rudder shift time of 13.6 and a turn circle of 880. Concealment is 15.3, so you get slightly worse concealment. I'm going to put the Stormy up at very good. Because I think that this is just a very good ship. You get a turret traverse of 36 seconds, and a fire chance of 41%. This thing, like, the AP shells, starting from tier 8 to tier 10, are ridiculously good. These are very good guns. Very good guns. They just feel accurate, honestly. And I'm gonna put the Stormy at very good. Now we're gonna go to the Kornilov. The Kornilov, I think it's pronounced. Now the Kornilov. The Kornilov. You get 20.8 kilometer range, firing range, 33-second reload. I mean, you get 4 quads, 3 quads, sorry. So you get 12 16-inch guns, and you get the same guns as the tier 8. And these guns are fantastic. I found the Kornilov to be pretty damn good, and I'm gonna put it. I'm just gonna drop it at very good for now. The survivability is 63,000. That is considerably less than the Sophisticated. But you are a Battlecruiser. The AA defense, 271 damage a second. You get 6 flak. You get 6 kilometer range. So you get quite pretty good AA. You get 13.9 rudder. You get 31 knots, 900 meter turn circle, concealment 15.5. You can get some insane concealments out of these ships. just ridiculous consummation. I'm going to put the Kolonov at extremely good. It's a very good ship. It's really, really strong. Very strong for tier 9. I highly recommend the Kolonov. The Stormy, I think, is pretty damn good. The only ship which I think is a letdown is the Senyavin. The Senyavin is... It's a pretty painful grind, if I'm going to admit. This is how they should do it. This is how they should do it. The Senyavin... it's not that good. It really isn't that good. The Stormy is better. The Kolonov, very good. Now we get to the Lazarev, and the Lazarev, oh my god, the Lazarev is it's insane. This thing is just bonkers. It's ridiculous by how good this ship is. You get 21.6 kilometer range, which is on the low side. Bear in mind, the Lazarev I have with commanders and everything like that. You get ridiculous secondary firepower. The reload time of the shell of the main gun is 27.3, but I believe base that's 31 seconds. I believe. I'm not entirely sure. I'll have to. I think it might be 32. The maximum dispersion for me currently is 246, but I know that's like in the high range of the 200s, so it's like 270. I think it might be the same as the I think it might be like 276 meters of dispersion. The airstrike, we don't want to talk about that. The AA is this thing has ridiculous AA, absolutely ridiculous AA. 6 kilometer range. You get 331 damage a second. The long range AA guns are ridiculous. The medium range AA does 450 damage a second. And you get 8 flak. 8 flak is insane. The AA is just ridiculous. You do 34.6 knots if you do like the same build as I've done. You get 870 meters to turn in circle. You got a 13-second rudder. I haven't even built into the rudder. The concealment is 12.7 if you build into concealment. This thing is honestly ridiculous. You get the same guns as the tier 8 and 9 at tier 10. But you hit as hard, and I haven't built into the guns at all, into the damage. I've built into the reload and the turret burst, but I haven't built into the damage. The damage is 13,400. You hit as hard as a Montana, but you have 850 meters of shell velocity with the AP. This thing is ridiculously strong. It is a shockingly strong tier 10. It's that now you can say the other thing about these battlecruisers is that they get the battleship armor. They get the battleship armor, so they get 32 millimeters of battle plating starting from tier 8. It's ridiculous. The Lazarev I'm gonna put at for me, and this is my personal preference, I would say it's between extremely good and godlike. It's not quite godlike. I'm going to put it as extremely good. This thing is ridiculously strong. It's very tanky. The main gun armor is a little bit weaker than standard. But this thing is absolutely ridiculously strong. You get the same health pool, slightly higher health pool than the Saprisky Soyuz. You get a 32% torpedo protection. And the other thing is that the the A and the X turret. So you basically got a Iowa layout. The A and the X turret, they can turn 360 degrees. So you've got 8 guns wherever you point. And the B turret can swing around. It's going to take longer to swing around because it's not 360, but the A and the X turret can swing around. This whole line, starting from tier 8 to tier 10, is ridiculously good. The Senyavin, I feel like I've been a bit rough on the Senyavin, but it's not a good ship. It's not even situational. The dispersion is horrific. It does not have 1.7 sigma or 1.8. I think it's 1.8 sigma. It feels like it's got 1.5 sigma. That's how bad it is. The tier 9 has 1.6 sigma, if I remember correctly, from what other people have told me. So it goes 1.8 sigma. The tier 8, I believe, has 1.7 or 1.8. And then you go to the tier 9, which has 1.6. Then you go to the tier 10, which has 1.8. This whole line is ridiculously strong. Should they have gotten the limited fast damage control party? No, because then that would just make them virtually unplayable. That's a stupid thing for me to say. They're not virtually unplayable. It's just their heal lasts a long time. They got the American heal, I believe. The DCP doesn't last that long. It lasts for 14 seconds, I believe. 14 to 13 seconds. But I would not be surprised if I actually look at the Sufisi Sawyer's damage. 13,250. I believe that this whole line has super heavy AP, starting from tier 8. Tier 7, not so much. The tier 7, the tier 7 has Vladivostok shells, but starting from tier 8 to tier 10, I believe they have super heavy AP because they do an insane amount of damage. They have ridiculously good pen. They have very good HE fire chance. The damage is, if I look at if I look at, say, the Lion. The Lion does, what, 6,900 damage with HE. Has 46% fire chance. The Hawk, 4/6s. So it does effectively have British HE. It's just a little bit worse than British HE. But this thing is ridiculous. This whole line is just ridiculous. The Kanyaz, Safarov. Oh, the turn time is 45 seconds. I do apologise. 33.5 second reload, 178 meter dispersion. I don't know the Sigma, but it's got different stats. The Ganga, same, 33.5 seconds, 12.4 kilometer range. Royalty, for Veliki, 30 second reload, 45 second turret first. Ismail, 45 second turret first, 33 second reload. Yeah, the Ismail I couldn't get along with. The Ismail, it's still got that same like stupid accuracy for some reason. And then the Senyavin. The Senyavin, Senyavin is just not it's just not a good ship. I just do not like the Senyavin one bit. I think it's a bit of a ridiculous ship. It's not even that good. I don't know. I preferably, personally, I do not like the Senyavin. Other people might like the Senyavin, but I do not. I don't like the Senyavin. But anyway, guys, that'll be it for the video. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy this video, give a thumbs up. If you did enjoy this video, give a thumbs down. Put in the comment section of what you believe how the line should be. I'll be really interested to see how you guys think it should be. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna see you guys later. Peace.